Wait, is this my intro music? Can we play something that people actually know? Yes, perfect. And then I'll say, thanks for listening to... No. I'll say, thanks for tuning into... You know what? Literally, no one cares. Well. Welcome back to Literally No One Cares. It is me, your host, Jay, and I am sitting here miles and miles and miles away from the absolute gorgeous, and hopefully I get this right, it is Kristin. Kristin, is that correct?
Christine, yes. Spelled like Kristin, pronounced Christine.
Okay,
Call
so
me.
you heard that here first. It's not my fault. All right. It
No.
looks like you've probably got that your whole life, I imagine, right?
Whole life, I mean, even in class, every time they like asked Kristen, and I'm like, it's Christine. I'll correct one time. One time I'll correct. After that, I'll answer to Kristen, Christian. I've had so many. I'm like, my friends will get more mad at people saying my name wrong than I will.
You know, I have actually a lot of my really close friends have been teachers. I guess I have an affinity for educators. But one of my closest friends right now, she's a teacher, and she actually goes out of her way to be able to pronounce all the students' names very accurate, even though they're very, very long names. But anyways, before we get way too deep in the weeds of that, boy, has a lot been going on lately. I mean, obviously, I'll talk about me because, I mean, I'm obsessed with myself. Um, it was recently my birthday, and I had a fantastic time. I actually am beginning to own my age for the first time in a very long time. And I don't know why I decided to do so. I think I just got sick of trying to keep up with the mental math of how old I actually am and lying about the year I was born and the year I graduated high school and, you know, the number one song at the time and all that stuff people try to catch you in. Now I'm just honest with it. But I turned 37 and I went to
No
New York.
way.
I did,
No.
yes.
Okay, then yeah, you've been lying to me too about your age.
I'm telling you, I was really good at lying about it for a long time. I stuck with the same year for a while, and I have so many different social circles that nobody can really keep up with it. And then also, like, I rarely post on the social medias when it comes to my birthday. I try to keep the numbers out of it. And
Not to
then,
mention you look amazing.
well, thank you. It's the lighting. We'll do everything for you, but thank you. And no, and then what do you call it? I sometimes have such elaborate birthday parties with like candles and everything, and it's all with whatever age I have that circle of friends believing that I am. So I've been pretty good at it, if you ask me. Anyways, I turned 37. Actually, turned 37, and I went up to New York City. It's a train right away, which actually we didn't take a train this time. I'll get into that in a minute. No, but I had some friends from Texas fly up here, and we hung out here in DC for a little while. Showed them what's going on around my little new town. So I've been here for almost a year already,
Has it been a
and
year?
it has been. I moved here in
March.
March of 24.
Wow. Yeah, no, I remember when you told us you were heading that way.
Time frickin' flies,
Oh,
doesn't it?
so fast, so fast.
Yeah, no. So they came up here. We spent a couple days here in DC, and then we went up to New York. Now, you've been to New York, I imagine, right?
No, I haven't, but we are going actually in November, so I'm excited.
You're gonna have so much fun. If you want any recommendations, let me know. I have gone
Yes.
to New York now that I live so close to it. It's only about a 3.5 hour train ride away. So I've been going often. So I've gone as a tourist, right? Done all the tourist stuff and spent a pretty penny, had a great time. And then now I have some colleagues and some friends out there, and I know all the hole in the wall places and the dive bars and the great food and all the stuff that locals do, where you can literally go and not spend a fortune and still have a really fantastic time and enjoy the city for what it is. So you let me know.
Yes. No, amazing. We'll be there in
Yeah,
November.
that's super exciting. No, so we went to New York and we had a great. First of all, we didn't take the train. I know I just talked about the train.
Yeah, yeah. But
Okay,
everybody talks
so
about the train. They say take
I
the train.
I love it. Living on the East Coast, I've never had. Well, growing up in on the South side of the United States, South side. Is that right? Growing up in the South. Anyways, what I'm saying is, we didn't have the train systems that they
No,
have out
no.
here on the East Coast. I'm obsessed. I can't get enough of it. They're inexpensive for the most part, and it can take you literally anywhere. But I couldn't take the train this past weekend. The what do you call it? It was. ridiculously expensive to come back to DC on January 19th, the day before the inauguration. The train tickets to New York were the average price is normal. Get them a few weeks out, 4 or 5 weeks out, you can get a good train ticket, one-way ticket for like 50-ish bucks. But on the way back, we're talking hundreds each. And there were three
Oh,
of us. And I
yeah.
said, guys, let's just rent a car. And so we ended up driving. We rented a car for the weekend, which is good because we run on any like specific time frame now.
Oh, yeah,
And
then you have to catch a train. Is it what's the time like on a train versus the car?
So on the train, there's two trains. The regular train is about 3.5 hours. The faster train, which is a little bit more expensive, is about 2 hours and 45 minutes. A
Okay.
car is about 4 hours if you don't hit any traffic, which of course we did. And it took us about 5.5 hours to get there, which was, I mean, I was with good company, so I was having a good time. Anyways, so by car, it's about 5.5 hours. No big deal with the traffic. We had a good time. I was with good company. But we got there kind of late, and then we started off with a fantastic cocktail at this place called Ophelia's. I believe it was like the 30th floor we went up to, had a beautiful view over the river. Started off my birthday with some great cocktails. Amazing. I did have an El Paso Old Fashioned, right?
Ooh, okay. Yep, had to.
Ode to my old home, my hometown, where I met the beautiful Christine.
Yeah.
And then we went out to the bars all night long until like 4 in the morning, as per usual. Had so much fun.
That sounds so amazing. You're a fellow Capricorn.
That's right. Oh my god, I forgot. We almost share a birthday, right?
Yeah, mine's January 17th.
Love that. So you're at the
Yeah.
you're at the tail end of Capricorn as well, borderline
Yes.
Aquarius.
Mm-hmm.
And fun fact, I know absolutely nothing about the astrological signs.
And I will pretend, but I don't either. I
Yeah,
just know that like organized. I always get organized. I'm like, I am to an extent. Yes.
organized, stubborn, set in my ways, but also like a leader and a go-getter.
Yes, leader
Um,
go getter.
of course, I know my own sign, obviously, and I know Aquarius because a lot of my close friends also happen to be Aquarius psi. Aquariuses,
Aquarius,
Aquariuses. I don't know. Sounds too much
aquamarine.
like
No.
sounds too much
Chick.
like Aries, and you don't like Aries.
Yeah, no.
Um, anyways, no. So I had a blast in New York. We walked around. Oh my god, I have a little hack for you. All right, when you go to New York, you're gonna be walking around. Now, are you taking the kids with you?
No, absolutely not. Not this time.
I knew I loved you for a reason. All right. So you're gonna be walking around. You're gonna have to potty. You're gonna have to pee. Which is always an issue when I'm out and about New York, and I'm always having to go into a restaurant or find somewhere that has a public bathroom, which is really difficult. But today, I mean, today, we went just last weekend, and we stepped into the Hard Rock Hotel right there in Manhattan. I believe it's like on 48th and 7th, I think. Yeah, 7th and 48th. And it's a Hard Rock. And you have to go into the hotel, you have to go upstairs. That's where their like front desk is and whatnot, and you can walk right past the front desk to the bathrooms, which are gorgeous, huge, private, clean, amazing. There's also a little cocktail bar and a little seating area. So if you want a little rest the feet, get the heels off for a few minutes, do that. Go there. Don't try to go to another place. You're looking for a public restroom inside of a subway or something.
Yeah, no. I'm already like freaking out about all the things that I'm such a worrier. I'm like, okay, what about, and you say the train, and I'm like, I've never been on, well, so I lie. I've been on one train, and that was to the Grand Canyon. It was very controlled. We knew where we were going. So I'm new to all of it. Like the whole East Coast thing, new to all of it.
It's a lot easier than you think. You're gonna have so much fun. I take the Amtrak. Are you flying into New York?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
actually, we're flying into DC, so we might have to visit. It's actually
I,
one of our
I
friend's 40th birthday.
I love how this is the first time I'm finding out about this.
Well, literally planned it like last weekend. My friend actually came in from he's from Delaware. He's moving to DC, so might have to get you guys connected. And he's like, "Guess what? We're doing my birthday party in New York. It's gonna be huge." He's going all out for his 40th. He's like, "I'm renting this yacht and we're gonna have this big old party." Yeah. I'm like, "All right."
How do I become friends with this friend now so that I can be also invited to this yacht party?
Oh, easy.
Obviously.
He's the nicest
Obviously.
guy you'll ever meet, and you'll be my plus one. Like, forget David, my husband. Like, you're only my plus one.
I also stand by that. Well, now I'm jealous. Now I don't want to talk about my little birthday trip in New York
Oh.
anymore. Now that yours is going to be so amazing. Well, we had a great time. It was awesome. We went to, oh, I can't talk about it anymore. I feel like it's not going to measure up to this
No.
yacht trip.
Well, it's his 40th. You're not even close to that. You're what, 30? You just said 34? No.
Clearly 32. Um, no, but it was no. New York was a lot of fun. I had two really great friends with me. We went all over the place. I got to do a little bit more of the tourist stuff with them again, since one of them hadn't been there before. And I'm imagine if your friend lives in Delaware, he's probably been to New York 1,000
Oh,
times.
yes,
So you,
definitely.
yeah, I will make one recommendation, and I hope you can. And if you're the only person of this little group who's is its first time in New York, put the tourist stuff aside. Let the locals show you what they want to show you, and you're going to have 10 times the amount of fun. Okay.
Oh, I love it.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
locals
put
always.
the tourist stuff aside. But, anyways, we finished the New York trip. We came back, well, obviously, and we came back the day before the inauguration. And it was already like a change. We went to go drop off the rental car, and then we were on the subway back to my apartment. And it was right when Trump's rally had like let out, so the subway got flooded with. First of all, the people were dressed impeccably. I cannot take that away. They were gorgeous. The men were in tuxedos. They were also handsome. The women were in these beautiful, beautiful gowns, and they were very friendly. They were very happy, very excited. Obviously, all there for the events that were taking place the next day. Which, regardless of your political parties that you choose to support, it was still a very beautiful event. It was nice. The city was flooded with red, but it was really neat because it was my first time being in DC, like during these type of events. So regardless of what my political stances were, I got to be a part of history essentially. So I was really excited to do all of that. But that's literally no one cares about this. That's enough about me. Um, Christine, what is up with you? What's all the hot gossip? What's the 411? What has been going on in your life?
Well, we just got back from the Bahamas, so that was really cool.
Tell me everything. Tell me everything.
Well, it was a work trip, so a lot of work, but it was a great work trip. I'm a financial professional. I know we kind of talked about that a little bit before, but my husband and I are opening up our new firm now that we're in Arizona again. And so we were able to go on this trip and we got to like hear these billionaires talk. This guy got on stage. He was worth $3 billion. And he was like, "Yeah, my kids can't wait till I die." And I'm just like, I'm literally staring at this man up there. He's from like South Dakota. And he's like the $3 billion man. It was great. And it was brought in a lot of knowledge. But then, of course, you got to go to the beach, which is my absolute favorite. I could live on the ocean. So we got to see the beach and we got to eat at a couple of great restaurants. It was great. It was such a great experience. David and I went. We got to go without the kids.
I
I
love
love my
that for
kids. I
you.
do. I love my kids, but I love vacations without
Okay,
them.
so I've been to the Bahamas a few times. Where did you go eat?
Nassau.
I love Nassau, or Nassau, as I say. Yes, right.
Yeah.
There's something about Nassau that I love. People find it really annoying, but I appreciate the work ethic behind it. You're badgered by the locals there to buy their trinkets and souvenirs and whatever, right?
Well, so we didn't get to go off the resort. I wish we could. Like David and I were talking about it. We stayed on the resort the whole, like I said, it was mostly work, but we were talking about it. We have to go back.
Okay. Yeah, I think you do. I think you do. Were you at Atlantis?
No, we were at the Grand Hyatt.
Oh, I'm trying to figure out where that one's at. I have not. I cannot recall that. Well, actually, so I've been to Nassau twice. The third time, I didn't get off the cruise. Oh, wait. You didn't go on a cruise.
No, no, we went straight to
Oh,
flew in, drove to the hotel, stayed at the hotel we were there for 3 days, and then flew right back.
okay. Tracking, picking up what you're putting down. I get it. See, I've been to the Bahamas a few times because I keep going on cruises, which is a whole different ball game and experience. And I love. Do you like a cruise?
I've never been on a cruise.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest and like just put this out there, and not a lot of people know it, but I'm deathly afraid of the ocean, like the deep ocean. I will put my feet in, I'll go to my ankles, but going into deep water,
Okay,
like
girl.
years.
You and I are one and the same.
Okay.
I am not a fan of open water either. And my very first time on a cruise, I was having a lot of anxiety, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then apparently, so my friend that was with me, he's actually in the Navy, and in the actual Navy word, I don't know. You know how people like someone's in the Air Force, like, oh, do you fly a plane? You're like,
Oh
no,
yeah.
right? Well, he's actually in the Navy and is actually always
On the boat.
deployed underwater or whatever. So he's
Oh,
very used to the boats and the ships and everything. And we left late, so the ship had to go faster, so therefore it was rockier. Your boy was freaking out, and he's like, you can do one of two things: you can freak out or get drunk. I chose
more
to get
shots.
I chose to get drunk portion. That way I was swaying, the boat was swaying, we equaled each other out. It was good to go. But once we got out to the open water and those stabilizers come on, you cannot tell you're in the water. You can't tell. Like there was times where I'm in the restaurants, I'm in the casinos, I'm in the spas, and until I look out the window and see the ocean, I forget that I'm on the ocean.
Yeah, and that's what I hear. But I watch you. I tell you, I'm a warrior, right? So like, I watch those crazy videos where you see those ships and it's like, phew, everybody's like sliding and all the furniture is all over the place. I'm like, that's what's gonna happen to me.
You watching Titanic? You watching Titanic?
Yeah, I had the two. I am the two VHS old watching Titanic.
You and I both. Wait, how old are you actually? I have no clue.
I
And,
just
and
turned.
and before anybody gets mad, I will never understand, and I refuse to try to understand why that is a rude question to ask a woman.
It's not.
Anyways,
I never thought it was. I was like, why? I mean, unless if you say like, "Oh, you look old," if it comes with the rude comment, I get it. But you can. Everybody can ask me. I might like lie to you about it. But uh,
we already established I do.
yeah, no. I told my son, my 5-year-old Gordy, he's our youngest. He is convinced that I'm 21 forever. 'Cause he's
Love
like, "Mom,
him.
when are you gonna be not 21?" And I'm like, "Never. I'm
Never.
always 21." No,
Forever 21.
forever 21. It's funny because one of my cousins came over the other day and she's 24. So I'm 34. I'll put that out there.
Okay.
I just turned 34. So she's 24. She's one of my baby cousins. And he goes up to her and he goes, "Wow, you're older than my mom?" And I was like, "Yes, I trained him right."
That's adorable. No, so I want to go back to something here. So you and David, your hubby, which by the way, I know her hubby, guys. He's the light of my life. He is a character. He is a clown. I don't know what their home life is and their private life is none of my business or your business, but I can't imagine they ever have a real argument. And if they do, I cannot imagine him actually ever like putting his foot down at all. I feel like he's just like, well, guess I lost this one again.
He is. I mean, he is definitely supports me and everything that I want, I get. And I have to be careful with that too, because I'm like, no, you said.
No,
No,
he's
it's great.
amazing. I used to work with her husband. That's actually how I met her, for those of you who don't know. And I think the first time I met you, it was at your baby shower with your youngest. So her youngest is 5 years old
Yeah.
now.
Oh
He
my
is
gosh,
adorable.
yes.
He is the spitting image of his father. I mean, Christine doesn't even need to be in the picture at all. Like, it's like
No.
David birthed him himself. And if she's not shy about sharing photos, I will ask her to put photos on this pod Instagram so you guys can see how, like, she's not even, there's no DNA
He's a
there that's
clone.
hers.
He's a
It's
clone.
ridiculous. It is.
I'm like, how
Um,
what did I even do?
Nothing at all. You looked good at the baby shower. That's what you did. And that is where I met her. And it's the rest is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful history. But you and David are opening up a financial firm. Now, the funny thing about your financial firm is you guys are clearly adults, and I am an amateur adult. And I own nothing. I don't even own my cell phone. Like, I'm leasing that through Verizon. So, and part of me likes the fact that I own nothing because I feel like there's nothing tying me to anything. And let's face it, in 3 years, we're going to be owned by China or Russia. So why do I want to own anything anyways? But sometimes I feel like I'm really behind the curve on financial smartness. And so tell me a little bit more about what it is that you do.
Oh, well, actually, and leasing and not owning anything isn't always a bad thing. It really just depends on everybody's plan, and that is your plan. It's going over basically what we do is we talk to every individual and figure out what is your plan? What do you want in life? What is your goal? And then we base our solutions to your goals. And that's it. So don't feel behind. You're nowhere behind. You might be, think about it like you're not having to worry about a house and the maintenance and the stuff that it takes to put, to fix things. You're saving money, a lot of money by not owning a home, even not owning your phone. As long as you have insurance on the phone.
Of course, I did got insurance on everything. Are you kidding me? God.
So yeah, that protection is huge, but as it's based on everybody's plan, you're not behind. A lot of us, and the reason I got into this business is because a lot of us weren't taught about money. We weren't taught when we were, in school, here's what you need to save for, this is what you need to invest in. That was not a thing.
No, you're absolutely right about that. I don't know how to balance a checkbook, but I can tell you that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Like
Yeah,
that
I,
is
I wish I could tell you that too, but I didn't pay attention that much in science.
oh God, oh God. No, it is ridiculous, but I do like the fact, I do have my friends. I have a very eclectic group of friends from all different walks of life and different socioeconomic backgrounds and different professions. But a handful of my closest friends are like financial advisors, or they work in like securities and stocks and so on and so forth. And they're like, Jay, you have to like, you need to be buying something that's going to give you passive income. I'm like, first of all, I'm barely trying to get through my days as it is. I don't want to be worrying about anything else. But second, when I like, for example, when I moved from Texas to here in DC, it was a very fast move. It was, hey, congratulations, you get a job offer. Once soon as you can be here, in 5 weeks later, I'm like, I can be there. And I didn't own anything. I didn't own a car. I didn't own a house. I didn't own a condo. I was renting an apartment. I had, what I think was like nice and cute furniture that I mainly buy from like Wayfair or IKEA. So it's not, my $7,000, Italian leather sofa. No, it's not. It's stuff that I could easily put on Facebook Marketplace, sell all my big belongings, and then move up here with, the smallest of boxes and just buy new stuff all over again. I love that I can do that.
Yes, and it's super easy. I mean, I'm the opposite where when we moved and we had our quick move to Arizona, I had a 6-bedroom house full of all the things I had to move. We had to sell our house. So your plan is what works for you, and that's what we find, and that's what I do in this business is I get with people and figure out what plan is for you. And I always tell people, I always listen, no judging, because in this world of finance, people are so embarrassed to talk about their finances.
We listen and we don't judge.
Yes, we listen, we don't judge. Exactly. And people, it's like it's a fact. People would rather talk about their sex life than they would their finances. It's out
Girl,
there. Yes.
are you talking about me right now? No,
Oh no.
first of all, I'm kind of an open book with everything. In fact, I think I don't want to say what's the word. I'm not an oversharer with random strangers, but once you're someone that's in my little circle, like there's nothing that I hide. I mean, but yeah, and I'll tell people that I don't know how to manage my own money. That my mom still manages my money for me, and it was almost to the point to where, I mean, I know kind of like what I have in my accounts and whatnot, but I'm 37 years old. Again, I'm an amateur adult. And if I want to make a big purchase, if I want to go and buy a new MacBook, I call mom and be like, can I afford this MacBook? Or she'd be like, yeah, use this card. All right, cool. And they're all my cards, but she has
Yeah.
access to every single one of my banking accounts. She's an authorized user on my credit cards, and she has logins to all of my monies, everything. I mean, even my direct deposit from my employer. And the day she dies, I'm going to have to hire a financial manager.
Well, yes, she's your financial manager now, and I got you. Hopefully
Ah.
that's a very long time, but I got you.
Yes. But I love it. I love not having to think about stuff like that. And I tell my friends, listen, as long as I have enough money to support the lifestyle that I want to live, put a little bit away in savings, not even a lot. I could be putting more away, but a little bit away in savings, the lifestyle I want to live. And as long as I don't have to have a GoFundMe for something, I'll be okay.
Yes, a hundred
That's all I
percent.
want to do. And
Yeah.
literally, no one cares about our fucking finances. But
No, of
I do love figuring out exactly what it is that you do because I see you on your social media. Which, by the way, she is. Again, stunning, guys. You guys, she's stunning. I said it for actually circling back to the baby shower when she's probably what 7, 8 months pregnant. The next day, I was like, David, your wife was fucking hot. And absolutely always been gorgeous. And then she glams up. Well, she I don't you do your own glam, I imagine, because you're not a
I
fucking
do.
you're not a celebrity,
No. How I
but
would
you.
love to have my own glam. I have a glam chair. Like, cause for one day I'm like manifest it. One day I'll have a glam squad. But I do my own makeup.
I love that. Well, you do it very, very well, and it also looks very
Thank
natural. You guys, I'm just telling you, like, if there's one girl in this world who could flip me back to straight in a heartbeat, and we're creeping up on two girls right
you.
now. Don't tell your husband. Anyways, literally no one cares about that. Uh, all right. So I have my packet here. Oh my God, I do want to ask you about this. So you live in Arizona again, right?
Yes.
Pretty close to California.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on these LA wildfires?
It's insane. Now, this would be the second time that a huge fire has hit, kind of close to what is for me. Like I have friends that are out in that area. We actually were stationed out in California Central Coast back in 2017, when
Okay.
the last huge fires hit. So I know, and it was around the area. It's like apocalyptic when you're in that area. So just seeing the video and seeing everything that everybody's going through, it's like to me, it just like grabs at my heart because we were there the last time it happened. And actually, the last time we were there too had giant mudslides because everything, the fire finally got put out. The rain was coming. Everybody just felt so blessed the fire was finally out. And they literally had mudslides that were to the top of the overpass on the freeway. And by the time we were able to, they were clearing it up because the job I had in California, I worked up and down the coast. And so by the time they cleared it up, you could see the mud stains on the overpasses. So I see it out there and it's so crazy to me.
It's absolutely wild. I think I don't know which came first, like the chicken or the egg here. I don't know if there is more publicity. Okay, I'm gonna be honest because I was being a little judgmental with the amount of attention these wildfires are getting because I was thinking, well, California's on fire like every other year. And
Mm.
I've never seen it have so much attention as it does now because so many celebrities' homes are getting burned. And I was like, is that why it's getting all the attention? But then I thought, well, no, because every year that goes by, social media is getting bigger and bigger. The internet's getting bigger and bigger. Cameras are on everybody's phones and devices and clips and cars and everything. So I'm thinking, is it more attention because of celebrities or just more attention because it's more advanced technology that we have?
Yeah, it's
Um,
definitely technology. Everybody has that
yeah.
camera. The second the fire is there, everybody's like cameras on, following everything. Some of those videos are just so intense. It's like the fire tornadoes that are in their backyards and they have the camera. I'm like, why are you still near the fire? Like, get out.
And you know what? You know who to be out first because I don't own shit. I'm gone. Me and my dog are gone. Let my IKEA furniture burn to the ground. I'm good to go. Anyways, no. So I'm looking at these wildfires, and I'm seeing here. I'm looking here at the packet that producer Lindsay put together, and I saw this here about the celebrity donations. Okay, so which I think is absolutely beautiful that celebrities have put together. We have Beyonce donated $2.5 million. She's working through the Fire Relief Fund through her Bay Good Foundation. Jamie Lee Curtis, a queen coming back into her light again. I am
Yes,
obsessed with her.
I am obsessed with her too.
The last thing I saw her in was when she played the mom in the bear.
Oh,
Uh, oh my! The funny thing is, I didn't realize it was her. Like I watched the whole season. I love the actress, love the character, I should say. And then like months later, I was reading an article and then I realized like, holy shit, that was her.
yeah. She
Amazing,
did
amazing.
amazing. No, and I think she came out and why she said she came back or was one of the things is she's like, I've had so much creativity that was like still inside of me. And who am I to keep that from everybody? Because it's something that I love and it's something that I want to share. And I just have to like let that out. And she's basically like telling you, like, if you have things that you want to share that you can just give to people and give to their lives, don't hold it in. If it's something you love, like share it with the world so that
She
they can
truly,
experience
she
too.
truly is an artist.
Yes.
And I love it. Obviously, going back to True Lies, probably my favorite thing she's ever done. True Lies, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes, Arnold
Oh,
Schwarzenegger.
I was like, oh my god,
Yes,
please, please,
I
please
know.
say you've seen it.
No,
Obsessed
yeah,
with that
David.
movie.
David showed me that one. Oh my gosh, the
It's
whole
so good.
scene. Yeah, when they come in.
Did you
Uh,
know did you know she hung from the helicopter? That wasn't a stunt double.
no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it was what is his name? Brilliant director. He did Titanic as well. Kurt, not Curtis. What is his name? Excuse me, I have to look it up here. Titanic director is James Cameron. So it was James Cameron, right? And they had to do the scene and whatnot. And she's like, "Okay, I'll hang." And he's like, "Are you sure about it?" And he's like, "Yeah." So she is strapped. You know, there is a harness that's attaching her to the person hanging out of a helicopter that's going down his arm into her arm. But ultimately, she is hanging there for that entire scene. They had to get it in one take because they weren't going to do it again. He's like, "If we don't get it, we're not doing it again." And so that's the veins, the stretching of the skin, the face, the
Oh,
hair, the wind, all authentic.
oh my gosh. I
I
can't,
know.
yeah, watch that totally differently now.
Yes, you're gonna have to go back and watch. That's your homework for today. All right, we have Leonardo DiCaprio. All right, our cradle robbing king. He donated $1 million. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle donated money. They didn't name the amount though. And Eva Longoria, how much you think she pledged?
Eva, 2 million.
You wish, they wish. $150,000.
Dollars. Oh,
I know. I'm not here to judge anyone's. I
well,
am actually, it's
she's not in
exactly
a
what I'm
lot of
doing.
things these days.
So,
So.
no, so she apparently, Eva Longoria pledged 150K to GoFundMe to provide immediate cash to 150 displaced families. And then she's going to match up to another $50,000, I think, something along that. Taylor Swift donated to 10 organizations and charities and also didn't say the amount that she donated. What are your thoughts on donations being public or anonymous?
I mean, if they're public, I think you get to see who's actually giving money. And in fact, like if they're giving money, especially if you support them, like the influencers, they're like, well, they're giving money to this charity. We should also give money to this charity. So a lot of people will follow what they're doing. That's part of it. I think the ones with the good hearts, they see that they want people to donate to their charities. And I think that's in my heart of hearts because I want to feel and think the best of everybody is that that's what they're
Right.
doing. They're influencing people to donate to these organizations, but there's probably one or two that are like, "Hey, I'm donating. I'm actually giving." Yeah.
Okay, I'm actually really glad you said that. And I'm actually really touched that Lindsay put this in the packet because she doesn't know that I did this in the past a long time ago. Is I had a friend, this was back in 2019, it was right before the pandemic. And I had a good friend of mine at the time. His name was Daniel Beast. That was his little social media name. So, anyways, he out of the blue hits me up one day, which I don't know why he chose me. I mean, we were friends, but we never discussed like community or whatever. And he texts me and says, "Bro, it's like raining, pouring raining outside. There's water running down the sidewalks, and I saw an unhoused man wearing grocery store bags as shoes. Do you know of a donation or something we can donate to that can help them buy shoes?" And I said, "How about a little less talk about it, a little more be about it. Let's cut out the middleman and let's just donate shoes to them." He's like, "All right, bet." And so like that weekend he came over, we got together, we went to Walmart. We found, I mean, we're not millionaires by any means. So we went and we got like all the clearance shoes, and there were a huge rack of $3 pairs of shoes from Walmart, and we cleared them all out. I think we got like 60 something pairs of shoes. Then we went and we got Lunchables, or like off brand Lunchables. So again, we're not millionaires. And then we bought everything, and then we took it to the car. We bagged them all up, all the various sizes with the snack. And then we drove around town. And when we would see an unhoused person, of course, we were saying homeless at the time, but unhoused is the
Mhm,
accepted word
mhm.
these days. But when we see an unhoused person, we just walk up or like, like wave them over and be like, "Do you want some shoes?" Now, let me give a little bit of a backstory here. I Up until this moment, I had not had the best experience when it came to dealing with the homeless, because back when I was like 13 or 14 years old, I was part of a youth group, and we did a sack lunch thing where we all made like 10 sack lunches, and then we all got together and we drove around town and passed them out. And I remember like being really excited to do so and rolling down the window of this big, huge passenger van, handing over the sack lunch, the guy opening it, looking inside of it, and then throwing the whole bag to the ground and stomping on it. And that kind of set the tone for the way I was going to perceive the homeless population for the better part of my adult life. Okay. Until I did this thing. And when we started doing this, um, these people's faces lit up like no tomorrow, and they dropped where they slammed themselves to the ground, threw off their old shoes, put the new ones on. They were super excited. We let them dig through my trunk trying to find their appropriate sizes as well. Some people took more than one pair. I'm like, please go for it. They were so happy. There's also a little snack in there. And we recorded all of this. And I put a whole little video together. And I said, I'm going to do this for two reasons. This was so successful, like to me, that the reason number one is I'm hoping people will see how successful this was. I want to do it again, and I want to be bigger and better. I want to do maybe add socks, maybe add deodorant and a toothpaste, toothbrush. And if I can have people either donate some money or just say, hey, Christine, will you go buy $40 store toothbrushes for me? Right. That was my plan. And then number two was to motivate someone else to do the same thing. And so we put this video together and we posted it. And I think I put it like on my social medias. I put it on YouTube. I was, silly, and I called it Operation Souls for Souls.
Oh.
Right. And I loved it. I felt so good about it for a few days. It was so nice. In fact, there were two comments that really stood out. I got one comment that somebody had said, oh, shucks, you got me. I was leaving Walgreens. I saw a homeless guy outside. I remembered your video. I went back inside, bought some Lunchables, and gave the snacks to him. That warmed my heart. Well, that very same day, I got another comment saying, recording yourself doing a good deed is ultimate cringe. And guess what comment won?
Mm-hmm.
I took all the videos down. I had so much shame, and I haven't done anything like that again since. And that's where I struggle. Do you do it publicly to motivate? Guess what I just remembered, Christine? That first comment was your husband, David. Yeah,
Really?
it was your husband, David. He said that he was leaving Walgreens. Yes. Small world, small world. But anyways, those two comments, and I felt ashamed. I don't know if I should have. And I took it down, and I started doing some like online reading. And apparently, I think John Stamos or somebody had also said the same thing. Some celebrity was like, it was The Mask. What's his name? Jim
Jim
Carrey.
Carrey.
He was like, imagine being at your ultimate part of your life, the lowest part of your life, and then someone offering you something and then putting a camera in your face, which we didn't do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't do that. We recorded from afar because I wouldn't have put my camera in somebody's face, whether they're homeless or not. You know what I mean? But I took the videos down, and I still struggle with, should people donate anonymously or should they donate publicly to encourage other people to do the same thing?
Well, and I think it's really in your heart of hearts. Like, if you know and you're truly doing it because you care, you have to shut out those haters. There's always going to be haters. And I bet you that hater is someone that doesn't go out and do those things or feels bad that they haven't done it. So they're going to have to put you down just as much. Or, they have nothing else going on in their lives but to put these people down. And if you know in your heart of hearts, you're doing it to inspire and you're doing it to be kind and you're doing it to help people, that's all that matters. And those people, there's always going to be negative people in your life no matter what you're doing if you're successful, but you can't let them rain on that parade. You have to keep going and keep, there's a lot of people you helped out there and there's people that you inspired to go out there and help people. So don't let them turn down that light. You keep that light shining, you keep
Oh
helping.
God. I do want to do something again locally here, of course, where I live now. I live in a downtown DC. I live in a beautiful part of town. Don't get me wrong, but it's also a very heavily riddled with the unhoused. So maybe I will again. But let's get into something a little bit lighter. I saw a TikTok the other day about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni on the set of Not This Is Us. It ends with us, right?
Yes, it
The
ends
most
with
hideous clothes I've ever seen in my life. But um, I need to know what happened. Please tell me you're following.
I am 100%
Okay, then
following.
then you need then you need to enlighten me because usually I try to keep up to date on all things pop culture, obviously because I'm obsessed and have no life, but also for this. But I have not got into the Blake Lively Justin Baldoni drama until I saw a TikTok and somebody had said, "Ooh, I bet the Reynolds Lively household is silent right now because Ryan Reynolds put his neck out on the line for Blake," and then a video came out pretty much discrediting everything she did. And when that happened, I'm like, I need to do a deep dive, which I didn't because I got distracted by Luigi Mangione probably. Um, what is going on there?
Yeah, so I mean, I actually read the book before I even knew the movie was coming out. So I read the book. The book is so intense. So I was like, "Oh my goodness, the movie's coming out." I dragged David to go watch it with me. Oh my gosh, got him bawling. Like he came, I'm so glad I love it. He comes along with me on all these things. So watched the movie. So I was really into it. I love Justin Baldoni because I've watched Jane the Virgin. So I loved his character on that show.
Yeah.
And he's, went into directing and did a few movies. Blake Lively, I mean, I'd never watched Gossip Girl, so I don't really know that. I'm trying to think like what else I really watched her in. The Simple Favor with Anna Kendrick. So I
Such a
watched
good
her.
movie.
Such a good movie. I love that movie. And so when I started seeing this drama coming out, I was like, okay, Blake Lively is not addressing some of the like harsh issues in the movie. And I don't know if you've seen the movie yet, but it doesn't really ruin anything. But domestic violence is is a big
Okay.
theme in that movie. And when they were going through the press tours for the movie, Blake Lively kind of pushed aside a lot of those questions. She kind of made light of them. She made jokes. Like she didn't really address some of those tough questions that they were asking about that. Where Justin Baldoni, he was really getting into it, really getting detailed about, yeah, what this movie's about, how he wants to support, all of the things. And so that was a little fishy to me at first. And I was like, oh, it is what it is. And then the premiere happened. And all of a sudden, Justin Baldoni is not with the main cast. All the cast is away from him. And I'm like, this is weird because I felt like Justin Baldoni, like, he always seemed like a genuine guy watching like some of the things he's done. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. And then it started hitting the news about the drama. And I think that's what kind of called it out. And so well, not apparently, Blake Lively put out this story in the New York Times that she was going to, press charges, put this to court for sexual assault against Justin Baldoni. And I was like, mind blown because he has like this podcast and he's been feminist, supportive of women, all these things, and all of a sudden like she's throwing this out there about this sexual assault. And I was like, oh no, like this can't be. This is crazy. So then I started the dive of like, okay, what's going on? And me and my sister loved the celebrity like court cases. We watched the Alec Baldwin one. We watched the Johnny Depp. Like we went
Those are
through
my bread and butter. Oh my god, I love them so much.
Yes, watched the court, like, actual court hearings, we did all of that. So this one, her and I immediately just got into it, like, "What's going on?" And, so Blake drops that, saying that there's this whole smear campaign that Justin Baldoni was putting together and sexual assault, and then Justin's team comes back and is like, "Whoa, wait a minute, you're throwing this out of proportion." Like, "No." And they start just going after all of the claims, and it's just there's so much in there because the world we live in now with like sexual assault, especially in Hollywood, and all these stories coming out, you're like, oh no, like not another one. Because you see some of those like the kindest people you thought were like the sweetest people, and they're getting hit up with these sexual assault cases.
Right.
And so, I have to carefully tread on this, fence of like, did he do it? Like we can't say like, you can't victim shame, you can't do these things. So it's like diving into those stories. And so then he started like saying, well, I have receipts. I have receipts on the things that you're saying I did and I didn't do.
Girl,
And
he
so
pulled a Heather Gay.
did so hard. He's like, "Here you go." And his legal team, they are no joke. Like they're coming for her. And so I think that's what it is. I think that Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, they're this power couple, and I think I have a feeling that's a lot of the reason why a lot of the celebrities were kind of standing behind her, and like we stand with Blake, but also like the whole sexual assault things going on in Hollywood. But Justin Baldoni's just like dropping receipts. They dropped another video, and I think that might have been the video you were talking about because that was the most recent one. Because she had claimed that in one of the scenes that he had like come in too close to her neck and was like smelling her and was like, "You smell good," and said like it made her feel really uncomfortable. And so Justin Baldoni's legal team was like, no, guess what? There were microphones on and we have the video for it. They dropped the video, and no, it was just them having casual conversation. They were talking about her make so she was like, "Oh, I have spray tan on." And he's like, "Yeah, it smells good." And she goes, "Oh, no, no, it's the makeup." So it was just casual conversation, and they were acting. They had this scene where they were they were in a bar and they were kind of dancing, and Justin Baldoni's sitting there talking about his wife and how they stare into each other's eyes. Like he was being very romantic about his wife, which probably helped him get into character. And like it just didn't like fit. Everything that Blake Lively was saying just was getting completely just shattered right there as we were watching the video.
I I love this. I think I have a new rabbit hole to go down to.
Oh, yes.
Because I did the same thing, obviously, when Johnny Depp and I forget his
Amber
person's
Heard.
names,
Yeah.
Amber Heard and her legal team that was like the cast of Sesame Street. Um, no, okay, and the thing is, I love Blake Lively, but I like when the queen loses her flowers, you know, and every once in a while they need to be humbled and they need to be knocked off their throne and realize that they put their pants on the same way we do, one leg at a time, and need to not make these false platforms,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, yeah, and a lot of
So,
the whole Mean Girl stuff coming out, what even after this started happening, people are like, "Oh, did you know she had beef with Anna Kendrick?" I was like, "What?" Like, they did so good on that movie. What are you talking about? And yeah, like all this stuff, all these beef started coming out with Blake Lively. And so, there's that side of it, but I also look at it and I'm like, Justin Baldoni, where is your team? Like, I'm like, where are your cast members? Where are people like standing up behind you, supporting you in this? So that's where
well,
I'm like, I'm struggling here. I'm like,
I think in this who the fuck do I think I am? Literally, no one cares about me. In that industry, I think people have to decide. All right, we need to go for the bigger powerhouse, and then hope they come out on top. See,
mm,
they're afraid to support Justin because if he
mm.
doesn't come out on top, and they ain't never working again,
Oh
they're
no,
gonna be
yeah.
out here asking me for shoes just like everybody else.
Yeah.
So,
They're gonna be calling souls for souls.
yeah, girl, I got you. What size are you? That's what's gonna happen. That is ridiculous. I haven't seen the movie. I didn't see the movie because the press tour for the movie, where I saw that she was being a total "see you next Tuesday" to that English reporter, the
Hmm.
journalist,
Hmm.
which I thought was I saw. I'm like, that is so unbecoming of anybody. Like, and if my coworker, a neighbor, or somebody had said that, the responses that the way she was treating that journalist, it was just was disgusting. And I thought, you're a celebrity on a platform, you had to be careful with how you act because you can influence people.
Hmm.
And I saw how negative she was on her press tour that it really turned me off from wanting to watch the movie. But now that this is coming out, it's made me want to go and watch the movie.
Yeah, it's a little, yeah. So I think people are like, now I need to go see what this is and what it's about, which is kind of like sad for me because I loved the book. So now that I see all this drama, I feel really bad for the author because the author who wrote this book was heavily involved in the movie. And now this is like putting, this shadow over her book, her movie, all of those things because all of the drama, people are now fighting about this movie and
Oh,
like whether they should see it or supported
her
it.
work isn't even his or her author,
Her,
or
Colleen
her
Hoover.
work, her actual work isn't even seen the light of day.
No,
It's
no, and
just
that's
the drama.
it's just the drama, and it makes me feel so bad for the author, and she's actually go coming out, so she has another book, Verity. If you haven't, like, probably haven't read it, but it's so good. Oh my gosh. You talk about drama and, like, surprises and all. This book shook me to the core. I can't like, when I was reading it and I was, like, telling David, like, the whole story just shook me. So, I do Audible because 'cause I'm, like, can't read. I read and I forget. But
Okay, I'm so glad you said that because I was about to make a joke about myself saying that I don't read. I don't read either. I'm read too.
Yeah, yeah. No, I can't. I try, but I can't. So I listened to it. Oh my goodness, the great. So they're coming out with a movie for that one. And so of course, I'm so excited for the movie. Anne Hathaway is actually going to be one of the main characters in that. And I'm like, I hope this drama doesn't stop them from continuing on with that movie. Because I'm like, this could be a great thing for this author, for her book series, for all of this. And now they're going to ruin it. And I'm mad. I'm mad they're having this drama.
No, I'm super excited. I'll probably go listen to other books as well. I do a lot of Audible. I love my Audible. I tip is it fiction or nonfiction?
I'm like, what is nonfiction again? I have to remember which one's fiction.
Remember, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
I told you. I was a drama nerd. I was like all into the drama and acting. My
Is it
brain
true
was like,
stories or is
character.
it true stories or fake stories?
It's fake story. So fiction.
See, just like Luigi Mangione's manifesto is fiction.
Fiction.
Which I cannot wait. I'm obsessed. Actually, I have saved in my calendar. I believe his court date is February 21st.
It's coming
For
up.
people, it is on February, maybe the 24th. Maybe the 7th. I don't know. All I know is it was a Monday. I can't wait. I've been following that Luigi. It is ridiculous. Oh my god.
It's a
Um,
crazy, that one's a crazy story. I'm like, that's probably another one we're gonna be following, me and my sister. And I always, because she watches like from beginning to end those court hearings, and she watches it. I can't remember the lady's name, but she talks about like what's happening. She was a lawyer before, so she kind of goes
Nancy
through.
Grace.
No, no, I don't think it's Nancy
Oh.
Grace. No, I can't remember her name. She's got glasses, dark hair. But she'll sit there and she'll be like, "Pff, that's dumb. You can't do this." Like, so she narrates as they're going through. So it's easier to understand. But my sister will watch it from beginning to end. I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened? What did they say? And like, we just go on about all the drama.
No, I'm obsessed with it. All right, well let's get something a little bit lighter because that was also I didn't realize it was so I didn't realize that was so dark. Girl, speaking of school, have you ever heard of okay, Lindsay put the best packet together here. I'm like, Lindsay, why don't you talk to me about these things? Did you ever hear about the gifted and talented education program?
Yes. Yeah. I
Did
was
you ever
actually in Gate.
Me too. All
Really?
right.
Oh, okay.
All right, let me see if you've ever heard about this. Did you ever hear the rumor that the Gifted and Talented Education, or GATE as we all know it, was actually a CIA program?
No.
Yes, to try to identify people who were, hired, had extra talents in problem solving, analyzing, memory, so on and so forth. And I just thought, can I change my bio to former CIA hopeful?
Of
Like,
course.
yeah. So there's a Reddit rumor here, and it says the GATE program, GATE, Gifted and Talented Education, right? Had nothing to do with academic excellence. It was an offshoot of the CIA's MK Ultra program, run by both the CIA and aerospace defense contractors to scout for children that possessed a certain aptitude for speeding, reading parameters, and no, excuse me. Well, clearly I didn't pass it. Speed reading, hearing parameters, and artistic potential.
Well, and yeah, I was a gate dropout actually.
that's that's what
I
I
made the
say.
decision to drop out of gate.
Well, when I saw this and when I saw this article and I was looking through the packet earlier today, I was like, I was in GT for like 3 years and then I wasn't, and I just pictured them being like, oh, never mind, because like I just didn't get asked back,
Oh,
but I
I think
wasn't.
I'm like, well, I think I was in third grade. Yeah, and so it's funny, me and my friend Alex in elementary school were in this program, and we were in, so I don't know, did they pull you out of your like regular class to go to the gate classes, right?
Girl, I loved it. I loved when they would come and be like, Jay Salazar, come with us. I'd be like, how? I didn't know I was gay back then. I don't know. But I'd like throw my backpack on and I would like Shantae out of the room like I am better than you bitches. And then they had snacks for us too. It was so much fun.
We didn't get snacks. See, if we had the snacks, maybe I'd say it's like they came and got us. We're like our class is like we're counting M&Ms, and I'm like I want to count M&Ms. I don't want to go and solve the pyramid scheme and all this other stuff
I don't
going
want to
on.
go and memorize flashcards.
Yeah,
I
no,
I
give me
did a
those
lot of
M&Ms.
memory like drills. I remember doing like a large amount of memory drills. It was pretty extensive. I mean, and I think it really taught me something because at one point I could remember like up to 30 digits of pi,
Mhm.
3.14159. Like I could go really far. So I wonder what they were trying to do with me.
Yeah, where your path was, but no, you dropped out, so
Yeah, well,
could
this
have been
person
the
here
top
says,
CIA.
right, imagine this person here on Reddit, R Craner74 says, I was tested in all of these parameters, the parameters being speed reading, hearing parameters, and artistic potential. I was tested in all of these parameters. Whatever scores I got were never shared with me, but I was routinely taken off school grounds on weird field trips that I barely remember. This is going to sound crazy, but when the CIA and the Pentagon first started their Stargate and remote viewing programs, this is a rabbit hole I just started to explore. Yeah, no, you got
No.
it. Yeah, all these people are talking about how they had similar experiences, all the same type of, problem solving skills. So, yeah, imagine. I was a
I didn't
former
even know
CA.
that.
I know, former CA hopeful. Look at us. Look at us.
Yes, look
And
at
now
us.
we're amateur adults. Like,
Yeah, now we're like, what's fiction and nonfiction?
I need to go update my resume.
Yeah, add it on there. They're gonna ask you about it. So we heard you
Oh,
were gonna be in the CIA.
I know. Okay,
I'm second grade.
which reminds me, what is her name? Is it Lisa Barlow? I hate her so much. You watch Salt Lake City, please say yes.
Yes, Real Housewives.
Lisa Barlow on their last trip to Mexico. No, this is at the house party where she's like, they're lying about me. I want you to do an investigation and go the lengths. I'm like, who do you think you are? But are you all caught up?
Yes. Yeah, I just watched that first
Oh
episode of the reunion. Oh my
my.
God.
Okay, I need to see if we're on the same page here.
Okay.
We're talking
Okay.
about Salt Lake City
Yes.
and their current cast.
Hmm.
Who do we hate?
I do hate Lisa Barlow. She
Also, I can't stand her.
cannot
All right,
like
all right.
listen and hear and
Let
nothing. Oh,
me let me rephrase my question.
okay.
Who was the dumbest bitch on that show?
Oh my God. I see, and I don't even remember. Brittany, is that her?
Brittany with an I.
Brittany with an I.
Oh my God. What is she there for?
I don't know. For comic relief. I don't, I'm just like, girl, what are you doing? What was it? The text message from the table. And I don't want to like ruin it for anybody,
Oh,
but
oh
the
no, it's
text
been too
message
late.
at the
People need to watch
table.
it. This
Oh,
was the meanest thing I've ever
this
said to somebody. I wanted to invite someone else on the tea instead of you. Dude, every time she has an announcement, every time she talks about her breaking up with Jared, every time she just says something,
Oh
I'm
yeah, that was
like,
the lie too. She goes, "Me and Jared have done things together." I was like, "What? Everybody already knew that."
seriously, she's a hot mess. But okay, I'm glad we equally hate
But
her. I
Mary, I love Mary's quips
pray.
when it comes to Brittany. It's hilarious.
I love Mary in general.
Yeah.
Last season, I can tell you I was over her.
Hmm.
I don't know what changed. I don't think she needs any money, but something happened where I have a feeling it was maybe she was in contract or maybe it was not because it was like overnight. I mean, from one season to the next, she
Hmm.
became
It was like a glow
from
up.
sitting in the van to not doing anything, going to get McDonald's while the girls are having a retreat, right? To
Yeah.
now ziplining.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole new Mary. Like I love her. I loved her this season. Her comebacks, the way she got involved, the things like they really went deep into her story this year with her son. And oh my gosh, that was just so heart-wrenching. Like when they started talking about her son. I loved Mary this season. She just
I
showed a different side.
I think Salt Lake City did that very well. Did you know that the Real Housewives or the Bravo Network, I should say, they contract out different production companies for their franchises based on the geographical location?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, which makes sense. Which I think whoever they have producing New York City, they need to fire. But anyways, I think that's really one of the reasons. One of the reasons why Salt Lake City is is doing so well is that production company. Obviously, their edits and everything that they do is top tier. I'm very proud of what they did with her son, with Robert Jr., because I felt like they brought enough light to the situation for awareness without exploiting him.
Yes, I
And
agree.
I,
I agree.
I
They did
was,
it
I was, I was
justice.
on the edge of my seat for those few episodes. I was like, are they going to go too far?
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
did not, if you ask me.
No, no, they did a great job. I mean, they give it enough. Like again, it's about putting it out there so other people who are going through it, you're not alone, and
And
then
for
the
and,
support
and
they
for those of you
had.
who and for those of you who don't know and don't care about it being spoiled, Robert Jr. was a very lively, super happy teenager. You kind of watched him grow up over the last 5 years on this show, and then all of a sudden he became just really dark and quiet and introverted, and you could tell something was wrong. And I think as a viewer, we all knew what was wrong. I mean, we're not naive to what happens in everyday culture with teenagers, of course, or
Mhm.
anybody of any age, to be honest. And it did come to light on the show where he did tell his mother that he is addicted to drugs and has tried many of drugs, and for no other reason to just try them. And he expressed that he was ready and willing to accept help, and how Mary Crosby was able to do so while still maintaining being a cast member. I thought for sure she was going to step down.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
after that episode, I was like, "Oh, this is probably the last episode for her."
no, but I think she managed both very well,
Mhm.
and she got her son the help that he needed. And the show really only showed enough, like I said, to bring awareness without exploiting him. They didn't
Mhm.
go into too much details. They didn't show him doing anything crazy or disturbing or whatnot. But they announced it, they talked about it, and then she mentioned that he's in a center getting help right now, which is beautiful.
Yes, it's amazing. And I think it's great because they brought in other people too that she could relate with, like when it came to fashion and things like that, because they brought in Bronwyn.
Oh God, I
I
love
love
that
Bronwyn.
bitch.
Okay, good. I'm so glad because I've heard like
Now,
mixed things about how people feel about Bronwyn, but I love Bronwyn.
do you think she actually bought the jewelry or not?
I think she bought jewelry. I don't think it was necessarily that jewelry. And I think she admitted to it. She bought like the lower version of the jewelry. I
I
maybe
personally don't think she bought anything.
no?
I don't think she bought anything, and I don't. I'm not mad about her for. I don't like that she was trying to showboat because that family has plenty of money. I don't think she bought anything, but still, I'm not mad about her. I'm not mad at her for it. Like I still love her to death, and I think her reaction, her genuine reaction from when Lisa said that Amber, April, whatever her jeweler's name was, said, like you could see that by Bronwyn's reaction that she was like, "Holy shit!" Like I just got caught.
Yeah.
And that her stories don't make sense. She was on Watch What Happens Live. It doesn't make sense, but I fucking love her fashion. I
Mhm.
love her
Mhm.
maturity. I
Yes, the hot
love
dog
how
suit.
oh my god.
How she picks up her husband from the airports, that is my favorite. She dresses up in those blow up suits or the mascot outfits. Oh my god, that is amazing. It's my favorite.
Girl, you got to start doing that for David.
I
I
should
need I
next
need you to
time.
start doing that for
Oh
David.
my
It is out. Yeah,
gosh.
she's hilarious, and she's also, I feel like she's kind of real. She has that huge house. I don't think they have very many housekeepers, if any. I
It
mean,
didn't appear
they
to.
even show
I mean, it almost looked like they just moved in. I was like, did they just get this house? Like, what's going on here?
Oh God, no! I
All
love
the
her for
dogs.
all the dogs and all the dog poop everywhere.
Oh, I could not. I could
No,
not.
seriously, and no, I'm obsessed with Bronwyn. I'm obsessed with that whole franchise. It's my favorite franchise right now. I cannot get enough of Heather Gay, and
Mhm.
I obviously I saw that reunion. I thought that reunion was absolutely wild. I thought about the text messages in my cell phone, and then I was like, "This could be a whole lot of fun if I had to reveal my meanest messages," because I I talk a lot of shit, and I love talking a lot of shit. But one thing that I'm not necessarily two faced, and so the people that I talk a lot of shit about are not my friends. Do you know what I mean? They're not my friends. They're barely an acquaintance, and I'll be cordial and friendly, but they're not my friend. So if it were to get out, would I be embarrassed because it would show that I talk shit? Yeah, but I'd be like, I meant everything I said. I probably could have said it nicer, but I meant everything I said.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, your text messages are like your journal, but like when you're writing to people, right? Because you can, it's like that comfort zone of who you're texting and who you're texting to. You don't want to see David and I text messages. Oh, oh, all the personal stuff we could find there.
Oh my God, of course, of course.
Mhm.
No,
But I
that I
hate to bring up the past on that because we're talking about talking shit and we're talking
okay.
about all of this and we're talking about like a burn book. What did you feel about, how did you feel about Monica last season?
I absolutely hated her. I could not stand her. I think she was a snake. And again, once again, I think Bravo and the production company deserve a fucking Nobel Prize. They brought the poor on for the drama,
Yeah,
and boy, was there drama. You know what I mean?
so much drama.
And there's still drama. What
Yeah.
is this with Whitney talking to Monica?
Yes, that's what I
Oh
mean.
my
They
God.
brought it up this season, and I was like, how, why?
I have a I no, I can't wait. I think Jen Shaw is set to get out of prison in 26,
No
right?
way.
I think so. 'Cause they her what do you call it? Her prison sentence got shortened. And okay, maybe okay, not till 27 actually. We got a couple years. No, it's right here. She should be released on November 3rd, 2026. I if Bravo and this production company does not bring Monica G back when they bring Jen Shaw back, they're doing something wrong.
That's yeah, they have to. Oh my gosh, the drama of that season. I was just like, watching it, and then the reveal at the end, and then I thought for sure they weren't going to bring her back for the reunion, and then they brought her back for the reunion, and I was just like, this is insane. And then they bring her up again this season, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl.
Yeah, well, because she's doing another show right now. Well, I don't know if she's actually doing it or she just had a small cameo. I think she had a cameo on some traders or some other weird celebrity competition show. She had a little cameo on, but I think they're keeping her somewhat relevant for a reason. And I absolutely cannot wait. I know episode one or part one of Traders. Excuse me, get it right. Part one of the Salt Lake City reunion just aired. I cannot wait for part two. I believe that comes out tomorrow or Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday actually.
Is it, yeah, Wednesday or Thursday, one of the two. But yeah,
Well,
no, the husbands. They brought back the
the
husband.
nastiness and the gossip. Oh yeah, thank you for bringing that up. They brought all the husbands on. First of all, when they were in Mexico and they were at the beach and they played beach volleyball, let's talk about a cast of hot husbands. Woo, they're pretty handsome for who they are. Obviously, except for Todd. I hate Todd with a fucking passion. Uh, and not just because of his appearance. I hate the way he treats Bronwyn. I
Mhm.
hate that he's on the show so much, and I hate that he wants to be part of everything. Like you're not. Like let your wife do this like every other husband does.
Yeah. Yeah, like he wants to be a part of it, but he doesn't. He has this facade like I hate this, but then like is there all the time and wants to be all in Bronwyn's business.
I have a feeling that he does hate it and doesn't want to be there, but he doesn't trust Bronwyn.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he's like, I'm going to go on this trip with you.
Mm, yeah.
I have a feeling. I
Yeah,
have a
you're
feeling
right.
that's what it is. Yeah. And
Mm.
I misread something. I misread or misheard something about a month and a half ago, where I had heard that Todd and Bronwyn or Bronwyn filed for divorce or whatnot, and then I was like, thank God, because also they don't have a prenup,
Oh.
right? They don't have a prenup at all.
Mm.
And I got so excited, and then somebody, reality checked me and was like, I don't think they're getting a divorce. And we had to go and look it up and everything. And sure enough, it wasn't them. And I was so disappointed because I was
Like,
like, I can't
darn.
wait to watch that celebrity divorce play out in the public eye. God, am I sick in the head?
Oh, no, no, no. It's that
Um,
dark. You're like, "Ooh, what's next?" Ooh,
I
what's
I
next?
know. I'm obsessed. I'm absolutely obsessed. I cannot wait. But also, this has gone on for far too long. Although I could talk to you for hours. I could talk to you for hours on this. We are going to have to do another recap when we get episode 2 and 3, excuse me, part 2 and 3 of the Salt Lake out.
Yes.
I cannot wait. But Christine, thank you so much
Well, thank you for having
for
me.
being here. Tell the people where they can find you.
Well, you can find me on Instagram. It's KD Herms, KD as in David, Herms, Herms. I'll post there. I need to get better. I used to do reels all the time, and I'd post like
I
the
know they were super
craziest
cute. I
reels.
love them. I
So
love
I need to
them.
get back into that. Like I said, I was a drama nerd in school, so that it always made me laugh, and I make myself laugh, and I'm like, I'm gonna post this. But yeah, my Instagram is Katie Herms. Give me a shout out. I'll come in and give motivational speeches all the time and let you in my crazy life with my 5 kids. So
It's a beautiful, beautiful sight. It's a beautiful life. And yes, get her motivational speeches. And everyone out there, thank you so much for tuning in and checking us out here while we find a little niche. And, in light of, Robert Jr. and everything else going on, and make sure you all are getting all the help you need because at the end of the day, literally no one cares about you the way that you should care about you. So, with that said, we'll see you guys next week. Take care, guys.